So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over to the tournament fights of the evenings. Those were our demonstrations. Matt?
All right, so a brief overview of the rules. Now, the rules here are pretty easy. Basically, the fencer who scored the most points at the end of the bout is the winner. We're going to be using weighted scoring. Essentially, the head and the torso are going to be favored targets. With most of the weapons, it's going to be 2 points for a cut or thrust to the head, and it's going to be 2 points for a thrust to the body. All other targets will be 1. In rapier, it's going to be 3 points for a thrust to the head or torso, and all other targets will be 1. Wrestling has specialized rules, which we will cover later.
So our first fight of the evening will be for third place in Sword and Buckler, and it will be between Kirill Danilov and Evgeny Volodkov for third place.
Okay, this is a very interesting, one of the very interesting stories we have for this year is, you know, the Russians arrived at Swordfish 2 years ago in small numbers. They came in greater force last year and did some good fencing, but this year they've arrived in full force, and they have really done an amazing job and are going to be taking home a lot of medals.
And this is a strange matchup for both fighters because they've trained so very intimately over so many years. So what you get is something called applied tactics, which is when you know each other's moves and you train every day. It's hard to compete against each other.
Our first bout of the evening will be for third place Sword and Buckler. We have 2 Russians fighting tonight. Kirill Danilov from the White Company and Evgeny Volodkov.
So this is very interesting. Kirill Danilov is the lead instructor of the White Company.
Kirill will be in blue. Evgeny will be in red.
So Kirill Danilov is the head instructor of the White Company, which is in Ivanovo City in Russia. And Evgeny Volodkov is one of his students. So here we see master and pupil.
Danilov in blue, Volodkov in red.
And this is just one of many medal fights you will see between the Russian fencers this evening. So, circling one another, a little bit of probing. These are fencers who know each other well. Oh, step outside the ring. That results in...
It was a strike to the side of the buckler, and the judge thought he saw a point.
One point for blue. I believe it was a cut to the arm. Cut to the arm. And 1 point for blue.
Nice parry. Strike by Volodkov, parried by Danilov, then counter-striked again by Volodkov.
One of the things you'll see is this
Strike,
sort of
right, left.
this sort of leaping style that some of these Russian fencers use. It can be a little surprising at times.
Go low, high.
It's interesting that they are primarily using their swords for defense rather than the buckler.
Thrust, strike. Danilov being a gentleman there, acknowledging a hit that the judges didn't acknowledge, and giving it to his opponent and training partner, Mr. Volodkov. Nobody really going after it here, but
Oh,
fighting
nice
with respect
thrust
for each other.
by Danilov. It should be a 2 point. Yeah, 2 points for blue. That was a thrust underneath his opponent's buckler by Danilov. Cut and parry. Series of cuts, parried by Danilov with ease. Nice parry of a thrust by Danilov with his buckler. Feinted the leg. Attempted Unterhau from the left and a thrust, all of which easily parried by Danilov. Looks like a cut to the wrist by Volodkov. Is it 2 points? I guess that was a cut, seen as a cut to the head.
Yeah.
I guess it went over the arm to the head. So we have a...
End of first round. Fight goes 2 rounds. Fighter with the highest score at the end of both rounds wins. Now, usually these two fencers coach each other, so they have no coaches, but you'll see that later on this evening. Fencers taking a breather, recalculating their tactics. So both fencers here are really respectful of each other and
Right, this is an old club. I mean, this is Kirill Danilov told me that they started fencing sometime around 2000. So quite some amount of time fencing with historical weapons, even though they have not been in touch with the larger HEMA community until just recently. Oh, a loss of sword by Volodkov. Nice cut by Volodkov. Cut to the arm. 1 point red, we're at 6-5 now. Thrust, cut, 2 parries. No score from that exchange. It was a cut, parried with a buckler, and then a follow-up thrust by Volodkov, which landed on the torso, it looks like, and resulting in 2 points. 6-7 score. Volodkov now in the lead. Nice cut by Volodkov. Looks like it was parried by the buckler of Danilov. Nothing done.
Look from Volodkov, a feint to the one side and then spins round and strikes on the other side of his opponent.
Resulting in 2 points. 6-8. Thrust, parry on the inside line by Danilov. These two have very, very nice defensive skills. Look like a light cut maybe to the arm by Volodkov, resulting in 1 point. Cut and parry on both sides. Looked like a cut underneath to the torso by Danilov. Judges unsure of what they saw. Oh, beautiful
very
thrust.
Nice, very nice. Thrust by
by Volodkov. Nice thrust. It looked like it was to the
throat.
mask. Yes, resulting in additional 2 points for Volodkov. We are at 6-11 now, commanding lead. Attempted thrust by Danilov, but parried with the buckler. Feint low, cut high, parry riposte. Another thrust, parried with the buckler.
Very nice. Looked like a straight thrust to the mask or chest there by Danilov.
2 points. We're at 8-11 now.
So,
and that is our match.
cap was reached. We have a winner.
Evgeny
Volodkov from the White Company, Russia.
Takes bronze. And sword and buckler.
And these two fencers, they pretty much travel everywhere together, and they're a team. They coach each other, they train, they instruct together.
So this is a win-win either way for the Russians.
Indeed.
And they put on a nice display of fencing. Some very nice attacks and some very nice parries by both of these fine fencers.